Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about one of the most important tools that I had while traveling around the world, and that is my phone. So we're going to be going over a few apps that I took with me before I left for the trip, and a few that I downloaded along the way that made a world difference. So let's jump into it. So the first apps that I think you should definitely have on your phone are those relating to transportation. One you should definitely already have, and it's worth having just because it's amazing in the US, and that's Uber. Uber, if you don't know, will help you find cheap rides anywhere you want and take you straight there. It's not useful in every single country, but it'll help you in countries like South Africa, Europe, and maybe a couple more in between. I can definitely say in South Africa, I was able to get pretty much everywhere I wanted to go for under $5. And that was from middle of Cape Town all the way out to the airport. So download Uber and have that ready to go. But in Vietnam specifically, make sure you download Grab. So Grab is just like Uber, but only in Vietnam. Grab is insanely cheap. Most of your rides will probably cost you less than $2, maybe even $1, and that's sharing 4 ways in a car from like the ship to the airport. So it might only cost you 25 cents if you split it, which is insane. And Grab also has a lot of options. So you can do, in Grab, it's not gonna let me do Grab here. But in Grab, so they have Grab cars, they have Grab taxis, they have Grab bikes, and they have Grab food. So it works just a lot the same ways as Uber does. A car will obviously take you where you wanna go. A bike though, will actually send someone on a bike and you jump on the back of that bike and you go and ride along with them. And then Grab Eats, of course, they bring and deliver you food, which is great if you're in your Airbnb and you don't want to leave. So download Grab, it'll be invaluable in Vietnam. The final transportation app that I want to talk about was Skyscanner. So I actually found out about this from a friend in Vietnam, and I wish I knew about it sooner. So this is going to be extremely useful for you from during your time on semester C, but also if you want to travel anywhere afterwards. The whole idea of the app is that you're able to find really cheap flights to wherever you want to go. It's really simple. All you have to do is put in where you are, where you want to go, and a date range, and it will basically tell you when the cheapest flight is, but also what the cheapest day is to go. So if you say, okay, I can leave anywhere in a week range, it'll tell you which is the cheapest day, which is amazing. If you also want to do multiple flights, you can do like 6 or 7 cities in a row and hopscotch, and it'll like basically make a flight plan for you to get from the first city all the way to the last city. So, especially if you're going to be doing any post-traveling after semester C, download Skyscanner and it'll at least give you some very good ideas of how to get everywhere you want to go. Next, I want to talk about finding hotels and other accommodations. So there's really 2 or 3 apps that you should have for this. The first one is going to be Airbnb. So Airbnb, again, most people probably already know about it, but the great thing about Airbnb is it's worldwide, and most of these countries are gonna have very, very cheap, but also nice Airbnbs around the world. I will say that some people on our ship did get ripped off in the Airbnb, and the photos did not match the actual place. So confirm through reviews and other things like that before you book it. But you can find some awesome prices and awesome places for Airbnbs if you share the price with friends. In Vietnam, we were able to get an apartment in the middle of Ho Chi Minh City that slept 8 people. There's only 6 of us, and I think we paid like $20 each per night, which is really good to have our own place, because we would have been paying about that, stay at a hostel, and a hostel versus our own place. So have Airbnb on, and you'll probably find some awesome things. You can also book excursions through Airbnb, which is really cool. In Vietnam, we actually did a food tour through Airbnb, and basically we just booked it, and then some college students met up with us, and they just took us around to a whole bunch of awesome places to eat. So awesome way to both stay places and find things to do. The other place I want to talk about is going to be hotels.com. So hotels.com, and similar to like booking.com, it's 2 websites where you can find some basically places to stay in every country around the world. You just say where you want to stay, the nights, and then it'll give you a whole bunch of lists of all the places you can stay at and the prices and everything like that. and that's actually very affordable for most of the time. So if you're looking for a place to stay, consider looking at Airbnb, hotels.com, booking.com, all are good options. You can even like use this to find like capsule hotels or other weird places like that. So it's definitely worth having on your phone because it just makes it very easy. And a lot of the time you can do like a mobile check-in on your phone, which saves some time. Okay, next, one of the most important things when traveling abroad is first having service. And not everyone is gonna have an international phone plan. And so the most important thing is to find Wi-Fi. So I actually have two apps that are very helpful for this, and because they both have different info on them, so it's good to just jump back and forth between them. One is called Wi-Fi Map, and the other one is just called Osmino Wi-Fi. So we'll just start with that one. The cool thing about this is you can basically, cool thing about this is you can just look at the map and it will show you all the Wi-Fi hotspots around you. And that way you can actually go and find one, click on it, it'll break it out a little bit, zoom in, you click on them, and then they'll tell you if it's like public, if it's open, and if it's locked, a lot of times they'll even give you the passwords for them. So when I was in Vietnam again, we were at the airport, the Wi-Fi, not so great for the public, but there's a club next to us. I opened the app and it told me the password for the Wi-Fi in the club, so I was able to just sit outside the club on my laptop and use their Wi-Fi. That was much faster and better than the one in the airport. So definitely download one of those two apps because it could be really valuable, especially if there's a whole bunch of Wi-Fi's around you, but they're all locked. So it's a good option to have just in case you need that extra connectivity. Let's see, next app I want to talk about that's also going to be very important for you is going to be currency conversion. So for this, there's a lot out there, but I use Currency XE, which I think is really cool. So every single country you go to, and there's going to be a lot of them, are probably going to be using a different currency. And you'll have to learn the conversion for every single one of those. So some of them can be really easy. You'll learn it in your head. Japan, simple. You just take out 2 zeros out of the decimal point and there you go. But for everything else, converting ZAR to USD, not as easy. So Currency XE is really awesome because this works offline. So when you have service, you just add, I think you can add up to like 10 currencies on this and it will save them. So I just have a whole bunch of countries here. And then you just come up and you say, okay, this thing costs 1,500 ZAR. And then I can see, oh, that's 82 American dollars. Or I can just go to American dollars, I put in $1, and it shows me what $1 is in every country, which helps me learn the currency conversions. So this is gonna be really valuable to use, especially since people are gonna be doing shopping, people are gonna be getting food, everything like that. Especially when you're actually on the ship too, and you're trying to book hotels or other things like that. Most of the time the price is gonna be in local currency, so you'll need some type of currency conversion, and this one's great because it works offline. Next app I want to talk about is going to be our good old Google Translate friend. So Google Translate is awesome because not only can you have about every single country on there, language you want, but you can download the languages, and even better than that, it has a camera mode. So for example, right now I still have downloaded German, Vietnamese, Japanese, and Malay. And so all these are just saved to my phone. I can type whatever I want. I can have conversations with people. I was trying to get my laundry done in a port, but the lady did not speak English behind the counter, so we had to use Google Translate, and we were able to basically just type back and forth, kind of like we were texting. It's also really awesome, especially in Japan, where there's not a lot of English out there. So you can just, switch over to your Japanese language and then hit your camera. And then I don't have any Japanese here with me, but I could just point my camera at it and then it would change all the text. So this is awesome, especially when you're at restaurants, you're looking at menus, you just hold your phone over the menu and the whole thing translates. It's not 100%, but it will get you by. So make sure you have Google Translate downloaded and download all the languages the country you're going to. Fun tip, if you're gonna be on the ship and you wanna read some of the things on the ship, download German too, because the whole ship is in German and you can be that one that can read everything. Next up is gonna be, again, how to get around. So for this, I recommend, Google Maps, of course, but also maps.me. So maps.me allows you to download offline maps. So again, if you don't have service everywhere, this is really awesome to have. In Mauritius, the majority of people did not have service, but I downloaded the maps.me of the whole island of Mauritius. So basically it had Google Maps and like all the Wikipedia articles for all the places downloaded to my phone. So I could just go to Mauritius and see everything, which it was kind of a lifesaver, to be honest. So here's like Port Louise, and this is an offline map I've downloaded right now, and I could zoom in, keep zooming, and I can see like all these little places. I can even click on some of them, it'll tell me, it'll give me directions how to get there. We went hiking in Mauritius, and this will even have hiking trails on it. So you see these little dashed lines, those are all hiking trails, which is really cool. Another fun thing about these will actually also give you city guides. So it'll tell you like the best things to do in different cities like that. And it's all saved on your phone, so you don't have to use service or data. So another thing, consider downloading it, but make sure you download it when you have Wi-Fi or before you go on the trip. Another, probably one of the most important apps that you could download is gonna be WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is basically how you're gonna be learning to communicate with a lot of people on the ship and off the ship for the next few months while you're there, and also probably while you're traveling too, if you're traveling outside semester at sea. So WhatsApp is basically, it allows you to text, it allows you to call, video call, anything like that, anyone in the world. So a lot of tour operators worldwide will have WhatsApp numbers, use them, it'll save you money. And you can also like make group chats with your friends. So if some people have international service but other people don't, or vice versa, WhatsApp groups are great. You can send photos and videos in them, anything like that, and it just works. That's also how I'd call my dad and everything when I was abroad. I would just call him on WhatsApp, and yeah, it's great. So highly suggest download WhatsApp. It only works on one device at a time, so make sure you connect your phone before you go, but have it. So the next two apps are gonna be very semester C specific, but also very important that you have them before you go. So the first one is gonna be Safety, and Safety is basically a service that Semester C subscribes to keep track of all the students and to know their location if something happens, or to send updates, or when stuff happens in countries, you'll get updates and emails about them. We were getting a lot of emails on this trip, obviously due to circumstances, but have Safety. So right now I can see it's still working for me because they extended our service for like a month. But like I can see our latest alert, like the United States, severe weather forecast in the Midwest, global disease outbreaks. But like when we were in Japan heading back, I got a notification about a snowstorm coming in, and luckily it wasn't like around us, but it would have been very good information to know. It also lets you know about like riots or other things like that that might start happening. So have Safety downloaded. There's also an SOS button on it. So if something does happen and you need help, you can press it and Semester C will get your location. And it also allows you to contact the people at SAS just so you can communicate with them if you need help. The other app that you should have is Moodle. So Moodle, from my understanding, most schools don't use it. It's like Blackboard, which is what my school has used, or Canvas, or one of the other services. But basically, it has all your classes in it, which is cool. You can see your assignments and everything like that. The important part, though, is the messaging. So you can message on this. It's not quite like text messaging because you don't get like the notifications, but you can basically go on here and you can send messages to everyone on the ship, professors or students, and that's the closest thing we have to texting other than emailing. So for that reason alone, have Moodle downloaded. Finally, another really important app to have on your phone is gonna be some type of VPN. For me, I use ExpressVPN, and what this does is basically when you turn it on, it'll hide and mask your VPN or your signal or however you say it. So let's say I was in China, but I didn't want my phone to think I was in China. I wanted to think I was in the US, I could tell it and set it to Chicago or whatever, and then my phone or whatever I connect to would think I'm in the US. That way I would get US options or other things like that. This is really awesome for things like media services or things like that that have geo-blocking. And certain countries will actually block websites like all of Google, which is China. So if you're going to China, have a VPN, otherwise you won't be able to access Google or anything like that. And then it's really important for other countries too, because especially when you're on open Wi-Fi networks, it can be dangerous to have your data or anything like that on there. So have a VPN, that way you can protect your data and it won't get stolen by hackers or anything like that when you're abroad, which can be very dangerous and very hard to replace cards or other information like that. So I'm actually gonna put a link to ExpressVPN down in the description with my affiliate code, just so you know, and if you use it, we both get 30 days free. So if you just wanna try it out, there you go. But I think it's a really good investment to have, especially on a trip like this, and I'll still always use it when I connect to public Wi-Fi, even in the US. Okay, finally, this is the fun one. So, Bin. There's a lot of apps again out there like this, but I think this one's just cool. It basically just tracks where you've been in the world. So you're gonna be a world traveler after semester at sea, and you're gonna have to start keeping track of it. So all Bin does is you just select the countries that you've been to, and then it just keeps track of them. It shows you on the map, it shows you a percentage, and it's good incentive to keep going back out. So download it, and you can start having fun. So again, guys, those are all the apps that I recommend you have downloaded when you go on semester C, or even when you want to travel just on your own to other places like that. They're all going to be extremely, extremely helpful. At least most of them will be when you're off semester at sea. But so make sure you have them. I used every single one of these in every single port I was in. So again, have them. I'll put a link to the description down to all these that I can find, at least so you can keep track of them all. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like so more people can find it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you want to see more videos like this from semester C, traveling, and much more, please consider subscribing. Thanks.